He didn't believe in fate. To him, life was just a chain of coincidences. She was different. She searched for signs everywhere, in songs on the radio, in repeating numbers on a clock, in the way strangers looked at each other. So, when they met on a rainy evening, they understood it differently. For him, it was chance. For her, it was the beginning. At first, they talked carefully, as if afraid to break something fragile. Then the conversations became longer, deeper. Nights felt too short because neither of them wanted to say goodbye. She laughed in a way that made him forget the world. He realized that, for the first time, he wanted to be better, not for himself, but for her. They walked without destinations, learning each other through small details. The way she played with her sleeve when she was nervous, the way he pretended not to be jealous. Love didn't arrive suddenly. It grew quietly, like breathing next to someone until it feels natural. For a while, everything felt right. They shared dreams, fears, and silence that wasn't awkward. She believed they were building something lasting. He believed they had time. But love is rarely untouched by fear. He began to close himself off, afraid of losing his freedom. She began to feel the distance and fear losing him. Words became sharp, pauses grew heavy. They were still us, but it felt weaker every day. The conversation they avoided eventually happened. There were no screams, only exhaustion and honesty. They admitted what they had been denying. The love was still there, but it wasn't enough anymore. Sometimes feelings don't save a relationship. They only remind you of what's being lost. They said goodbye calmly, which somehow hurt more. No promises, no dramatic endings, just a quiet understanding that this chapter was over. Time passed. The pain didn't disappear, but it softened. She learned to let go of the version of him that lived in her memories. He learned that walking away doesn't mean forgetting. They never met again. But sometimes, on rainy evenings, they both remembered that moment, when everything began. And they understood some loves don't stay, but they change you forever. Before you know it, love becomes a memory. And sometimes that is enough.